Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about Bennu. It's an asteroid. There are a lot of headlines coming out right now, and we're going to run through them because the headlines are, they are what they are. But we're going to add a little bit of context to it. We're going to talk about the odds of that occurring, when, all of that stuff. If you don't want to watch the whole video, short version is this should not be high on your anxiety list. So, Bennu is an asteroid. And some new information came out saying that it might hit Earth in the future. And those are the headlines. It's going to hit Earth, might hit Earth in the future. The most likely date of impact would be September 24th, 2182. I don't think any of us have to worry about that. The odds are 1 in 2,700, so 0.037%. Okay, so with that in mind, why is it generating headlines? One, because it's scary and, fear is good for clicks. And two, because if it does hit, well, it's going to be a problem. The estimate, which I would like to stress is an estimate because I don't think anybody can really gauge this very well, but they're saying it would hit with roughly the force equivalent to 1,200 megatons. For context, the Tsar, which is kind of the biggest nuke we have right now, humanity has right now, it's 57 megatons. So, this is a big deal. For more context, the weapons used during World War II, they were 15 to 21 kilotons, not megatons. Much, much smaller. Easiest way to say this is Texas. It would mess up an area roughly the size of Texas. So it is kind of a big deal. And whether or not the 2182 date is something that really comes into play really depends on whether or not it hits a gravity keyhole. That sounds like something out of Star Trek. In 2135. If that happens, it'll kind of pull it in a direction that would put it on course to hit Earth. In other news that I'm sure is completely unrelated to that, the OsirisRex, well, it will be coming back on Sunday. It's a spacecraft. Incidentally, inside of it, it will have a little bit of Bennu. It will have some of the asteroid, which might be something that would be studied, examined to determine like the composition, all of that stuff. Which if you were going to, use a space battering ram to try to redirect an asteroid, that might be information you would need. So anybody who is complaining about the DART test, where they did that with the asteroid, it looks like that information might come in handy. In fact, if somebody was, let's say, skeptical of the government, they might believe that those two things are related. But at this point, this is not something to worry about. There's a significant amount of time to work out some kind of solution, but it does show when people complain about NASA funding. Texas, roughly an area the size of Texas. I think that NASA's funding and the research they do, especially in this field, that might pay for it. That seems like an insurance policy worth having. Just saying. But at this time, I don't think this is something anybody should be losing sleep over. There's a A lot of smart people that are working on this exact issue. And again, the chances are pretty slim. But when you are talking about an area the size of Texas, 0.037%, that's still enough to worry about. So that's the news concerning that asteroid. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.